Ever since you were born, you've been very focused on being somebody. So much so that you haven't been able to be your authentic self. That's where that kind of comes about when you're so focused on being somebody, something, belonging to everything around you. It distracts you from authenticity. It prevents you from digging deeper and learning more about yourself. And I feel like that's where a lot of us don't know ourselves. We know our somebodies, we know our personas, we know our identities that we have laid claim to. We know those things, but we don't know who we truly are because when we were born into this world, we started our somebody training, as one of the amazing spiritualists would say. His name is Ramdas, if you don't know him, but he would specifically say that the moment that we were born, we started to we started our training, our nobody training, or our somebody training rather. And somebody training is you having a name, you having an identity, you having a nationality, you having a religion, you having a job, you having hobbies, anything that can identify you with something. And oh boy, is it hard to live in a world where you don't identify yourself as something. Don't get me wrong. I love this experience here on earth, and I love being in this life that I chose, my spirit chose. But if I didn't detach and continue to detach from the personas that either have been put onto me or have developed within my own self, I wouldn't be able to really be authentic. You can't be authentic if you're adapting and attaching yourself to identities. How can you possibly be true to yourself if you're in a position where you're trying to be somebody? And that's where I would get myself caught up in a lot of situations. I would want to be somebody more than anybody else in this entire world. I wanted to really be somebody. That's why I joined the military. That's why I became a firefighter at one point. That's why I became a paramedic at one point. I needed to be somebody. I needed a label and I needed to belong to something in order to feel like I was somebody. But let me tell you, you don't need a label to prove that you're somebody. You're already a spiritual essence that came here with a divine purpose to tap into your most authentic self. That has been your job all along. The purpose is you. The purpose has been for you to find your internal self, to find that beautiful nature that exists within you. And I think we get so focused on our somebody training and our somebody-ness that we fail to realize and step into our true unconditional love that exists within us. You see, when you aren't in a position where you're not sharing your heart and it's blocked off to other people's, to yourself and to the world, you're failing to live in authenticity. Because let me tell you, love leads, guides, and is the very essence of this world. Like love is the universal language within every single being. But we're so focused on being somebody that we have to be hardened, that we have to be standoffish, that we have to be closed off. And even somebody in this can be the hurt one, the afraid one, the scared one, the angry one. Somebody in this can be that too. You can be in that persona, the one who's guarded, the one who's defensive. That's a persona and a personality too. So how long are you going to continue to let somebody-ness continue to control your life? Well, you may be sitting here asking me like, Ja, how the heck do I detach myself from identities that I've played a role into my whole life? Like my name is Peter and that's who I am. I'm a man or I'm a woman or I'm a they, I'm a them, or I'm blah, blah, blase, blase. And you know what? To be honest, this is why you see a lot of people actually in the LGBT community being more authentic than the average person. Because guess what? they're not following the somebodyness that was imposed upon them at birth. They're living in their authentic soul truth. And that's what I need you to do. I need you to live in your authentic soul truth and not be afraid to be the person, the soul, the spirit that you feel on the inside. Because you don't want to wake up one day and realize that you haven't been living in your truth this entire time. You don't want to wake up one day and it almost be your time to leave this physical body and realize that you didn't truly live. Because when we're so focused in our somebodyness, we're not living in the now, we're not living in the moment. We're always in an anticipatory act. We're always focused on becoming and being the better somebody that we placate to other people, to ourselves. Sometimes we lie the most to ourselves more than we lie to others. We pretend to be this thing that we're not. And we need more authenticity. We need more unconditional love. We need for each other to come together and to really focus on diving back into the spirit in which we are. Because we can't live this life inauthentically anymore. We have to be authentic. It is the only way you will live a fulfilling life. And what you do is you detach yourself from those identities. You detach yourself from those personas. You stop living in the belief that those personas and those personalities and those identities and that ego is you. When it pops up, it's not you. It's an identity that has been created and cultivated over time. It's not you. You're more than your identity. You're more than your name, your race, your religion, your job. You're so much more than that. And I want you to see how special you are, how unique, how powerful of a spirit that you are. You have so much greatness living inside of you that you haven't even tapped into yet. But first you need to transcend the physical. The physical is all the somebodies that you have became over time. And you realize throughout time, the somebodies change sometimes. That somebody turns in from a boy to a man, from a girl to a woman. Now I have to live this, and society says I have to act this way, and I have to do this. And you know how stressful and tiring that is? But you know when they say you can live in your authenticity, it's beautiful. That's why some of us, like, when we meet that right person, and we're able to be our authentic selves, it feels like a fresh breath of air. But how about you have that fresh breath of air every moment of your life without waiting for someone else to give you that fresh breath of air? Be the fresh breath of air for yourself. Be authentic for yourself. Do it for you. If nobody else can step up to the plate and give you that space, you need to be the one to give yourself the space. Don't wait for anybody else to allow you to be authentic. So drop the somebody and become authentic, because you deserve it. You deserve to live a fulfilling and abundant life. And watch, your life is going to change overnight. Ashe, amen. This is Tea Talks with y'all. I hope to see y'all next time. Ashe, amen. Ooh, that tea a little hot. I like this one. For real, thank you guys for joining. Check out my podcast. It's on Spotify. It's called The Light of Jah, and that's more personal. You get a little bit more personal with me. It's weekly on Wednesdays. YouTube usually gets posted on Fridays. Sometimes I do it earlier in the week. So I'll see you guys later, and focus on becoming nobody instead of becoming somebody. Ashe and amen again.